Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this video. So what I have here is a 3D modeling of BMO from Adventure Time. So first I'm just putting down the outline and the base layer of PLA. It actually looks a lot better in the video in a time lapse. If you could see it, it's kind of messed up as I go, but it clears up later. And when I try to rip it off of the paper here, some paper gets on the back. That usually happens with a lot of plastic, but you can just get a wet rag and some sandpaper and that comes right off. So next, I know this takes a lot of plastic because I've done one before. I actually ended up using about 30 feet of this teal color. So what I was trying to do was minimize the amount I use by just filling in little portions, but I go with my wood burning tool for a bit here to flatten everything out, and it just really wasn't working and connecting. So I finally soon gave up on that idea and just went to doing a second layer, and that's where all my PLA goes to. So here I go with my second layer. I'm doing the perpendicular way, just so when I go back to my wood burning tool to melt all the plastic, it fills in all the gaps. Really like watching this in the time lapse. It looks so much nicer than actually doing it in real time. And you could see how the spool is getting shorter and shorter at the end, so I kind of skimped out, but that's okay because that's his backside. So here I go with the wood burning tool to smooth everything out. It's extremely hot, it's like 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I learned that the hard way. But luckily we haven't had any incidents since there. It was just like a little blister on my finger, so no biggie. So, yeah, still smoothing everything out. Looks pretty good in the video, but as you'll see in the pictures later on, it's looks a little uneven. I'm still working with it. I think I need a titanium tip instead of a brass tip, but that's something else to buy that I don't want to buy right now. So now we're going on to the face of BMO. This white was actually fantastic. I don't know why all the other PLAs aren't like that, but that went super easy. Now I'm just working on each of the different colored buttons for BMO. And some were actually ended up being too small, so I just did them freehand on the model later on, but I did not know that yet. Now we're going on to the black lettering on the sides. And this is actually pretty cool because I guess this clip was short enough that it actually looks like I'm moving at a non-super fast speed. Everything's looking good. Looks so much better from this view. When I was doing it in person, you could see all the little mistakes and details. So now I'm marking up the piece with all the locations of holes I want to drill. And then I'm taking my wood burning wood burning tool and burning the holes. I wanted to put the piece on one side and then use the PLA as like kind of like glue from the other side. The holes weren't big enough and the PLA was drying too fast, as you'll see eventually, so it didn't really work. And I kind of gave up on that. We should see that here in a second. Still working away. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so actually maybe I even took that part out. What I ended up doing was just taking the pieces individually and heating them up and just basically gluing it down on top with the wood burning tool because I couldn't get at them from the backside. Then I'm doing some free-handed dots and lines. Continuing going with that, and there's some of the free-handed pieces I was talking about before. Now we're flattening out the face. And we'll put in the features in a second in black. There we go, looking all cute. And after that, I attach it to the back side. I add a little extra PLA and then just use the wood burning tool to secure that. And there we go. And now I take the wood burning tool and score each of the sides, kind of like if it was paper, you'd just be able to fold it. It's really easy to heat up the plastic and then be able to fold it after that. And then I start sealing the sides with the wood burning tool, getting everything together. My camera angle sucks, so you can't really see most of that, but you get the idea. And there was a bit of a gap you can see a little bit, so I had to use extra PLA at the bottom there. Luckily, I had enough of the color. You could see how little I actually had left. So now everything's sealed up on BMO. A few things fell off along the way, so I just re-added those. Now we need to work on the arms and legs. I tried a few things like going over a pen, but I ended up just modeling it, putting a bunch of hot plastic on and modeling it with my fingers after. There goes the camera angle again. Nice one, David. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just flattening out the legs. And now I'm attaching the legs, so you can see that there. Now I'm just building straight up for the arms. Didn't really know how to do them, so I just did my best and actually worked out pretty well. That's a very cool aspect of a 3D pen that I don't use a lot. So that was actually the first time and it went well. Of course you can't see what I'm doing right now, but BMO is about to be finished. And I'll go into some pictures after. So here are some pictures, him from the front. You can see now what I meant about the rough pieces, and it's a little dirty from the wood burning tool. But overall, I'm super happy with him. He's super cute, and we got a little picture of him in Claptrap, so big improvement there. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know if there's anything cool you think I should do next. For those who are familiar, I was thinking of doing a ghost from Destiny, but that's going to take a lot of white, so I might have to buy an actual spool, and that one's going to be really complicated. But we'll see how I do. Have a good one, guys.